Ladies and gentlemen, it's so bizarre when I make a video anymore because I almost feel like this could be the last video. Things are moving so quickly. We're going to do a radio show, a radio style show. We're going to do it every Sunday. It's going to be a 30-minute show and with no intermissions. And we're going to try to throw as much out there as possible. And of course, along comes announcements, but we have to take care of our sponsors because the way things are going, an hour from now they could be gone. So I wanted to talk to you about what's being done and what I'm doing to help them and what they're doing to help me and what we're doing to help you and help ourselves, because we're all in this together. The liposomal vitamin C people have gone on my last nerve, and they make a great product. It's not that cheap, but when you look at the dosage, they want you to take 1 tablespoon a day for maintenance, and that they're charging you about $1 per tablespoon, and when you're sick, you need to take it twice a day, minimum. That's your minimum. 3 times a day. And cancer patients, I have taken it 3 times a day. So if you get 1 package, then you're not getting enough, probably. Because you can megadose on vitamin C. It's not going to be. There's no such thing as a toxicity specifically to the vitamin C. And and then I look around. I had a cancer retreat. I'm out of the cancer business because of the personal attacks upon me and my colleagues. And I'm still bitter. I'm going to carry that bitterness to my grave. And when I die, I'm going to come back and find those people who killed my friends. But it's beyond that now. We're in survival mode now. We're in. You can't worry about somebody else when you're trying not to drown in a raging rapids. You have to extricate yourself from that river somehow without drowning before you can do anything for anybody. So it's important. It's important we take care of ourselves. And I'm looking around. I have a lab here. I work at a lab 2 hours away. I have access to all kinds of incredible equipment right now in my bedroom, which is a big master style bedroom. I have ozone running into the air. I have supplies that were from here, not from China. And the ones that came from China pre-coronavirus. I have all this stuff that's left over from the cancer retreat. I have IV bags. I have IV kits. I have IV needles. I have injectable stuff. I have syringes. I have all of this stuff. But also I have several kilograms of vitamin C powder, and I have these huge tubs of non-GMO sunflower lecithin. All of it predates the coronavirus stuff. I have sterile packaging. I have gloves. I have masks. I have everything I need to make the vitamin C more sterile and better in terms of packaging, in terms of the sterility of the packaging, than something coming out of Pasadena or something come out of an Amazon warehouse where you have ceilings of megatons of supplies that came from where? China. So being fed up with these liposomal people, I'm so fed up with them, and I'm ready to just make my own and get it out the door. If I were to make my own, the packaging would not be post-coronavirus packaging. The product, anything that that's here that ends up in that, like an essential oil or anything. None of it came from post-coronavirus China. None of it. So if I were to make this myself, I could double the amount of vitamin C that you get. I could double it over what they're doing. I could lipolyze it. I'm lipolyzing it right now. I have 2 blenders and 1 ultrasonic mixer. All 3 are going right now with sunflower lecithin, little bit of grain alcohol to emulsify the water soluble into the fat soluble. They'll be going out on dissipation evaporation trays to get rid of the rest of the alcohol, and it will be ready to go. This is coming from gosh, think about it, a state that has 0 confirmed cases, and one of the smallest towns in that state that is so rural. We don't have a Home Depot, we don't have a Walmart, we don't have anything like that. We don't have a McDonald's, there's not a Burger King, there's no Taco Bell, there's none of that here, none. So that, what does that tell you? There's no Discount Tire, there is nothing up here. So this is, anything being shipped from here is going to go through hands that are low-risk hands before they get to you. Once they get to your state, then it's, everything's out the door. So when you get mail, you need to take those little plastic, transparent, really, really cheap, poor-fitting gloves. You find them in hair dyes, so you don't get your fingers stained. Use those to open your mail. Every day. Do not open your mail without using those. Put your external mail containers into a plastic bag and keep your garbage bags small. Do not get giant, massive garbage bags because you're going to leave them open until they're full. You get a small garbage bag, you keep your garbage downsized so that the stuff going in the garbage is contained. And you close those up, you seal those up, and you bag them again. You seal them up twice. And then then you grab it, and then you take it out to the garbage. But every envelope, every sealed package coming out of my labs are sterile. I sent some stuff to my landlord because his wife is high risk. We just dodged a bullet. She may have had coronavirus. They came off a cruise in December, and she almost died. And the doctors were perplexed. They couldn't understand what was going on. Now it makes more sense. So, they're testing now. We don't know if she had the coronavirus. Her cardiac output dropped down to 30%. They thought she was going to die. She made a full recovery. So, but she's high risk, and I'm telling them they need to come up to the high country, get the hell out of the city, but they're pretty rural already. So they put themselves self-imposed quarantine, and I sent them some silver and some humic acid that I have in my personal supply in lieu of rent. Snicker, snicker. And what did I do? I sterilized the plastic bag they went into, inside and out. I sterilized the bottle again that came from the manufacturer. I took that bottle out with gloves on. I sprayed it down with an antiviral, let it sit, and repackaged it when it dried and sealed it up airtight. So I don't think you can get a safer product out of where I'm working. So it makes sense to tell these liposomal people to take a hike. And I know they can't help it. There was such a run on what they had. But they didn't have a right to string me along. They didn't have a right to misrepresent what their supply was. They didn't have a right to keep it from me. They didn't have a right to mislead me when they were going to start selling again or processing orders. They didn't have a right to string us along like that, because then when I get strung along and you get strung along. So I am making my own liposomal C right now. I got the stuff going. It's going to be in the mail tomorrow. They're going to have to shoot me to keep me from getting that in the mail. You're going to get twice as much vitamin C for the same price, and it's going to be every bit as effective against viruses as the original. In fact, it's probably going to be more effective because we add an essential oil to our liposomal C that helps with antimicrobial activity. So we also use a little bit of coconut oil, which is antimicrobial as well, and helps with your immune system. It gives your body needs some of that lecithin to make cells, but it also needs medium chain fatty acids. So we're giving the body everything it needs with a mixture of, and nobody's doing it. Nobody's mixing coconut oil with their lecithin. We could ozonate the coconut oil before you take it, but that could cause more of a laxative effect, and it makes it taste even worse. So we want you to take the stuff. So with the ozone going, with the machines going, with I have pounds of this stuff that's been sealed up and on ice. I'm like, what am I doing with all of this? I don't have a cancer retreat anymore. And, you know, in the grieving process, it is a process. And so I finally let go of the cancer retreat. I have this stuff. Let's get it out to you. Let's get it out to my family. Let's get it out to my subscribers. Let's get it out to my friends. And let's get it out today. And so that's what we're doing. I'm sick of waiting on all of these people. And I know you're sick too of waiting. So we're working with our sponsor, KimberTouch Technologies, to get this stuff up and running. And I love working with healthcare professionals. I love it. And I love when I'm working with the copper. Actually working with a PhD level biochemist out of a college of medicine right now on that copper. So, I thrive on that because I don't have a life, and I'm still in grief, and some of the bitterness I'm losing, because when you're in a rapids and you're trying not to swallow water and you're trying not to drown and you're busy trying to get out of those rapids, you don't have time to worry about anything but surviving. So right now I'm letting go of the bitterness, but some of my friends are deceased that were in the cancer business. I'm no longer in the cancer business. I feel a tremendous relief getting out of the cancer business. I can't tell you how much of a relief it is not to have to keep locking my doors and putting up, buying security and always carrying a gun, which I still do, but it's just a habit now. Before it was like, oh shit, I forgot my gun. I didn't want to leave home without it. Now, if I forget it, oh well, let them come shoot me. They're gonna get me one way or another anyways. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna make that Lipo C. We're gonna send it out if you want it. If you still want the regular stuff, you're still gonna be waiting for it. I'm so tired of the nonsense, and it seems like that if I could just get it out now, and you'd get it twice as much or sooner. So, and none of the stuff, none of the packaging, none of anything in the labs came from a post-coronavirus warehouse, which Amazon is. So that's what we're going to be doing, and So basically, the Lipo-C is going to still be up on the shelves. It's going to be up on the Kimbertouch Technology website at kimbertouch.com. And when you buy it, for now, when you buy it, you're going to just be getting twice the amount of what you're paying for. Just know that. And we're not dealing with labels right now. We have our own labels that are part of a stock supply. To go through a label maker that that has all these people working in-house and then sending the labels through the mail and 10 feet from me came from a pre-coronavirus environment. So we're just going to put hand labels. They're going to look, everything's going to look low budget, but the thing is we're using supplies that are sterile and that have come from pre-coronavirus warehouse. So that's where that is right now. And I hope that all makes sense. And I'm sorry I spent so much time on it. But liposomal C will reduce your symptoms. You take it along with the silver and humic acid, you're going to alleviate that virus. Now, a lot's coming out about chloroquine, which is an anti-malarial drug. I've taken chloroquine prophylactically before going down to Guatemala. And anybody from Guatemala listening, hola amigos, un buen día para ti. And I've always vowed to go back to Guatemala, and I'll probably go back there after I die. But it's just an amazing place. Belize is an amazing place. I vowed to go back there. I'll be going back there, dead or alive. I'll be going back there sooner or later. The one thing though about this whole situation, which is just it's a freak show. It's a horror movie, and I'm still not seeing the death rates that would justify the heavy-handedness, but I am seeing some really severe illness. And if you haven't seen the autopsy reports coming out of Wuhan and now trickling out of these other countries, we're seeing a lot of tissue destruction, and it's not always the lungs, but yeah, there's always the lung involvement. But how this thing could go systemic is as a freak show for a virus, a respiratory virus going systemic. That happens in 1% of the cases of any virus. So we know this thing's engineered. You know it's engineered. The only people who don't know it's engineered are the people who don't want to believe that it's engineered. These are the same people, the exact same people who think Building 7 fell at the speed of gravity with a steel frame from a couch being on fire. So I really think that the time is now. This is your bug out time. If you're going to bug out now. Get out of the city now. And I would not go via airport. I would definitely not fly out. Definitely. People are packed that are leaving cities. They're packed on the freeways, but they're packed on the airlines. If you don't have coronavirus, go into an airport and you're probably going to come away with it. These things that are happening today in the world, it's a global thing. We've been warned about it. It's transpiring. It's happening right now, and it's happening so quickly it's making your head spin. So bug out now. If you're going to bug out, if you're going to hunker down, but you're going to be they're going to be knocking on your door one day. So don't make this a political thing. I really believe that even if you're president, you have limited control over what the globalists are going to do. They seem like they're people that own the Pentagon. And when a president takes on the Pentagon too roughly, we see what happens. Just stay out of Dallas. And so I feel that this is it. They're making their move. They're going to collapse the economy. They're going to, the people with the money that don't own these lesser industries that are still million and billion dollar industries, they're going to come and buy those up now at 10 cents, 5 cents on the dollar. And the globalists are going to own everything. And the control of everything is going to be taken out of the private sector and taken over by the government through the continuity of government. So, and right now, continuity of government seems like what's got us into this situation. So, don't turn it into a Trump thing. Please don't turn it into a liberal conservative thing. Don't get involved in finger pointing. When you're trying not to die in a river, you're not sitting there pointing at the person who pushed you in the river. You're going to survive. You're going to claw out of that river so that you can go find that person who pushed you in the river. That's your motivation for not drowning. But you can't point the finger. As soon as you point the finger, you sink. So that's what we are. We're all in the rapids. We're all trying not to drag each other down. We're all supporting each other. If you have an extra life ring, we're throwing it to each other. We got each other's backs. And so that kind of camaraderie, that kind of support is really what I'm living on right now, because I really don't want to date. I just don't want to go through the dating again. I've been married. I have long-term relationships. I don't bounce around. But I'm done with all that. I'm taking care of my family. Who needs a woman? But hey, if you're out there, you don't have a fever, you're reasonably attractive, because I'm reasonably attractive. If you like the channel, if you like the content, send me a picture. Get ready. You've got to get ready. Those really inexpensive, transparent, cellophane like plastic gloves. Those you need. You need those. You can go. You don't need the stuff that comes out of a medical box. You need a barrier that you can drop in a garbage when you leave the store, or when you're done handling anything from the outside. Now, your risks of transmission right now are very low, and we don't know what's going on. We do not know. And the 5G thing, well, guess what? We're going to do a video on that. We're going to do a whole show on that. So we're going to do a twice weekly show. It's going to be 30 minutes Sunday and Monday. We'll try to get it uploaded by noon on Sunday and by noon on Monday, but it may be Monday evening. We just want people on the East Coast to have it. I feel sorry for some of the East Coast people. I went to Cleveland once and watched a football game that started at 10 p.m. and I'm like, what? I got to stay up till midnight to watch this game? How do these people work? So please hang with us. Again, shout out to the Kimber Touch people, and gosh, there's some really awesome people affiliated with that endeavor, and I'm so grateful to be working with some of these people, but with only 4 minutes to go, one last thing, and this show will be more information driven than this one is. We got tons of information to share with you. and great suggestions, survival suggestions, bug out suggestions. I mean, some great stuff, but mainly medical stuff. We got some great suggestions, and the show on Monday will be to follow up what was done Sunday. And I think once a week is cruel. When you're talking about this, what's happening now, this is unprecedented. This is a global event. People are worried about a fake alien invasion. Well, this virus is kind of alien. So, and it invades your body. It does. It's the body snatchers all over again. So until next time, you guys, shoot me an email on Patreon if you have any medical questions. Until next time, be prepared, not scared.